All right, so this practice is all about, it's called Yoga Through the Lenses. And the idea is we'll do a little chakra meditation, and we'll go straight into visualizing and bringing in all these 7 chakras for the body to begin with. And then we'll work through a finding your alignment practice. So it's a Saturday morning for all of us practicing here live. And this practice can be done any time of day. Hi, Catherine. So as always, if anything doesn't feel good or doesn't work for you, don't do it. We will work with a rolled up blanket we'll place it in the back body and in the front body. And this can be releasing as well as stimulating. And it can, if you have injuries or something that doesn't right, come off it at any point. So to begin with, we're seated. You can be absolutely on your cushion. Try to be in Sukhasana, just where the ankles are crossed. And if you need to change at any point, go for that. And tuck the flesh kind of underneath you and a little out to the side. Sometimes we have the habit of pulling the pelvis back, but as if you want it to be right on your sitting bones. And then feel your ribs over the sitting bones, shoulders over the ribs. You can start to close down your eyes. And then if you can feel your ears over the shoulders. Begin to take the attention into the toes, the knees, the legs, the hips. As much as we can with that joy that why we love yoga, dive into this home, this body we live in. By these practices, it's like paying rent to have your body, taking care of what you own or what's on loan even in this lifetime. And the 7 chakras run along Sushumna Nadi. So go right down into the base of your body. This area between pubic bone, tailbone, sitting bones, Mula Dara. Mula means root. And interestingly, sometimes we call money Mula, because it's all about security here. As yogis, jnanis, inquirers, we're looking at what is the real security in life. Knowing oneself. To be free from insecurity. The color is red. And the Bija mantra is Lam. So bring all your focus attention, dive all your weight down into the base of your body. Try to honor the secure feelings you have and know within your own being, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. Maybe even unify them all. Come up a little bit higher, deep in the body. Around the sex organs, we have Svadhisthana. The color is orange. This is where we get into the personality layers a little more. See and honor the physical form with adoration. Your innate beauty. The Bija mantra is Vam. Notice any effects in your breathing. The air can flow 360 around the torso. Now, solar plexus, this navel. Think of this center. Think of this bridge between our grounding pelvis, legs. The ascension, the floating ribs, shoulders, head. Manipura, color is yellow. The Bija mantra is Ram. This is our creative force, how we express. Why one person is attracted to one thing and another. And you're diving in, you might be feeling the red, orange, yellow, very earthy, warm colors. Now into this, what we call often the cave of the heart, climbing up into your chest. You can feel it front, back, and sides. Anahata, green. The Bija mantra is Hum. Our abilities to feel and experience joy, give and receive love. Understand compassion for oneself, for all beings. In yoga practice, we can work all chakras simultaneously. But as we know, and even physically in the body, where we have this harder protective layers of thoracic spine, chest to protect this heart lung region. You have to be creative, patient, caring, delicate with this heart area. The least flexible portion of the spine. Up into your throat. Vishuddha. Vishuddha, truth. The color is blue. The Bija mantra is Hum. If you can, as you're still relaxing the body, feel your breath soothing in the back of your throat. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Speak with kindness, truth, necessity. Now, third eye. Ajna, intuition, clairvoyance. A little friend that's always saying, well, think about this. And the color is purple. Your internal gaze might fix between the brow point. Conscience is inbuilt. Discernment, discrimination. Feel the breath flowing up and down this central channel. Lastly, with the image of 1,000-petaled lotus, Sahasrara, very top of your head, high crown. Your flow, your connection to the divine. You are divine. You have no choice about it. We work to close our opening meditation. We'll work with a combination of the mantras with the sound vu to combine your sacral chakra and Om, your third eye chakra. And it's worked with a lot of somatic experiencing teachers as a way to really soothe, calm, ground, get into your steady vagal tone nervous system. I think all of you live are muted because the sound doesn't necessarily come across great through the screen. But I implore you to voo in your home, in your body, out loud into the room. I will take maybe 3 to 4, depending on how it feels. Long breaths in between. You can voo with me or just in your own time. Ready. Feel everything, mouth, belly, the vibrations in the body. You surprise yourself with how much you can extend as you exhale. Maybe you did 3, or you just list out in your body. Take a moment to pause, notice. Maybe we'll open the eyes, have a little look around you into your space. These early morning hours as we take in the light, the shapes, the color. So good to have Gemma and Lisa. And we'll get the blanket going. just want to show you, and some of you like the big roll, and that's great. But if we're new to the blanket, I have this sort of, regular sort of longer square, I guess that's a rectangle, rolling it up. You want to think of like a beautiful long French baguette, maybe slightly bigger. So place that on the mat. And this backspace here, right, kind of in between your shoulder blades. This is our ability to receive love, energy, through the back. We put the energy out in the front body. So let's go for it. And remember, if you feel you're shortening of breath, it's uncomfortable, come out, because everything in this practice can be done and benefited by without the blanket as well. So you lie down, we'll start with feet bent, with the knees bent, feet on the mat. I always love to scoop up the back of the neck, find the flesh of your occipital ridge, and let that back portion of the head relax down. Arms out in T. Feel what you feel. Maybe the inner knees come toward each other, lining up with your spine. And your feet, you can feel your toes spreading out, supporting you. And naturally, we're exaggerating now the curve in the back. Every exhale, just feel yourself melting over the blanket a little bit more. And you can edge your bones down further or keep that chin tucking in. The chest opening. Maybe feel some light coming in through your fingertips. So it's almost like an active, passive stretch. You're breathing with it and feeling the fascia change moment to moment. You can be adjusting slightly through the bones of the hips, lengthening your tailbone away from you. Feeling the expanse through belly, ribs. Maybe scoop your shoulder blades underneath you a little bit more. So we sort of access this big thoracic portion into the back body. Allow your chest to fold a little deeper into your throat. And then very slowly roll the head from side to side. Just like imagine there's a set of thumbs under your occipital ridge, just lovely pressing into the back of the head. Just a few times side to side. And just draw a few little circles with the nose into the air above you. You might like to reach your arms back behind you if the shoulders feel like that would be nice for them. Bring them back out into T. Open your feet wide as your mat and slowly roll your knees a little side to side. Now this can be intense, and if you need to release from the blanket at this point, do. But we'll just start to make up here deep into the lumbar curve. You can still sort of feel and breathe with the chakras in the asana practice. So you might be visualizing the colors. And through the front line, to connect your core line is the pubic bone, navel, chest, chin. Next time your knees come over to your right, just roll a little to the right. Scoop the blanket out from underneath. Oh, we'll lay back down for a moment. Find your line. Maybe bring hands to the belly or the ribs. Just feel this rather fresh shape of the back body onto the ground. Bring the right knee in and tuck the hip underneath you. Send your tailbone to the left heel. Squeeze the shin, interlacing the fingers. Try to keep the shoulders, the back of the head, with a little bit of weight there. Rest left hand on the belly or the hip. Find your right hand to the instep of the foot. And work the knee out to the side, this little half happy baby. Now, allow your pelvis to roll on the ground. You can feel with your left hand onto the left hip, just how much if you take your right leg out to the side, you tilt in the pelvis, or the other way. We're freeing up space horizontally across your lower back. When the right knee comes back into the center, find your hands to the back of the thigh. Feel the muscles there. And we'll straighten and bend the right leg a few times, perhaps circle the ankle. Note you still want to be encouraging the hips further underneath. Further underneath you. Make the flat space in the lower back. Try to feel your breath in your ribs. Keep the shoulders back and the head resting down. Good. And replace right foot back to the mat. Feel the heat you created in the leg. And the left thigh comes in. Actively draw the hip underneath you. Maybe spread out through the sitting bones a little bit. And feel your tailbone stretch away. And hold the shin. These are take care moments of the body. You don't have to do anything fancy. But if you're present and your attention, your experience is fresh. Left hand to the inside of the left foot. Right hand can be on the belly or that sort of groin area of your pelvis. We find this, it's called sometimes a half stirrup or a half happy baby. And you know if you need to go very sort of slow, steadily through the movements. Try to move around the points of compression, the bones into the joints. Allowing this rock of side to side. Some of you might like to stretch the left leg out to the side. And the different sort of abilities we have from one side to the other. Let's hold the back of the thigh now. Feel the muscles of the quads, the hamstrings, your adductors, and straightening the left leg, bending the knee. Hinge joint at the knee. You might even feel the muscles stretch on the shin or the calf. Maybe you're pressing through the heel, flexing out the ball of the foot, circling the ankle. No forcing. Really. Still feeling this reach of your lower back underneath you. The support of your right foot can actually help to ground the sacrum. And the left foot finds the floor. We'll interlace the hands, cup the back of your head. As it's winter, we'll do the core support early in the practice. It's always great to get a little Agni, it's called, more fire through the center. Maybe you want to think of something related to Manipura chakra, to your enthusiasm for life, or even Muladhara Svadhisthana, something now in the center of the body. Even just the colors is enough. And then go ahead, lift the shins, flex the feet, shins are parallel to the ground. Feel the breath as you draw everything in and down, navel point coming down. Take a breath. As you exhale, supporting the head and the hands, lift up, elbows work toward each other, and just find the shape here. We're hovering, looking to the navel. And the breath is expanding, the exhale is curling in. Sometimes you can look at the shins. Are they actually parallel to the floor? Are your knees over your hips? And lower down again. And allow your feet to touch down for a moment. Oh, feel how the breath will deepen. When you're ready, shins hover. Take the breath. Exhale as we lift up. Sometimes even looking up can help, elbows lifting. Now extend right leg long, reach left arm out to the side. Deep breath in through center, replace the right hand to the head. Exhale as you change. Left arm and left leg extend out. Everything's coming in and down. Inhale. And as you exhale, find that cross. And can we stay soft in the jaw, soft in the shoulders? Breath brings everything in. Exhale, pull the navel down. Manipura, fire it up. Ooh. Last one. Big breath. Relax down. Feel the release. Maybe feel the calm, the stillness. The wholeness, completeness. That in awareness, nothing is missing. We'll do one more round. Binding hands to the back of the head. Breath in as you hover your feet, shins coming up. As you find center, exhale. The arm and leg, same side, but you cross it over. These yogi bicycles. Outer hips in. Soft in the face. Oh, opening the toes. Navel coming in and down. Okay, and relax. You might like to windshield wipe the legs. You might like to come up into a bridge or bring the knees into your chest. Or stretch the arms up overhead. What would feel like a way? You can also be still. I'm always inclined to find a bridge after some core work, as it's lovely to stretch the thighs, hips, pelvis. Really squeeze your shoulder blades underneath you. Can you feel the bone stacking of the ankles, the shins? Can you lift your tailbone a little higher? And then as we come down, we release out a bridge. Curl the knees in, hold back at the knees. Forehead to the shins. And we rock up to a seat. If rocking feels really good, you might like a few of them. If it doesn't, don't do it. But eventually we come back up into Sukhasana. Naturally, we always put one shin in front of the other. Maybe we want to change that up. See how that feels. And then the right hand will come out beside us and we open up the left arm. Starting to really make the space in your side body. Can you soften the inside of your knees, your hips? Work this lovely opening here for the ribs. Can you feel the chin in the center of your chest? And then allow the left hand to come to the right knee and your right fingertips to prop under the shoulder. Find the hips, the belly. And feel your turning gaze, chin over right shoulder. Use your left hand to kind of press down into the right thigh. And draw the rib cage into center. And take your right hand and reach your right arm outside. And continuously press down on the right thigh with the left hand. And find this kind of active side reach into the other side, but we can really use the left hand to lean away. Right hand finds the left leg as you cross in your arms and find these little rocks forward and under with your pelvis. Inhale can open front body, exhale, open back body. You're crossed here in the arms. Maybe you feel your fingers still on your thighs. If forward and back feels a little awkward, you might also like to go around. Note which circling way you went first. Maybe we can lift the forearms, give the shoulders a squeeze, a hug. And we can always wrap the forearms as well. Now with the forearm wrap, I really love to open up the side of the neck. These are your Garuda arms. These are your eagle arms, the mythical bird. I love to sweep the fingers around, a little side to side. More chest, shoulder openness. And what's also quite nice is to come in through center, allow the elbows to rest down into the sternum and slowly lift the chin and stretch the skin on your throat. You can lift and lower through the head as the mouth stays soft. It can feel intense, so watch what happens there. Be curious. Once you've sort of feel done there, let your arms release. You can lift the shoulders up, relaxing through there. Maybe reestablish your seat. Find the sitting bones right underneath you. You can go ahead and change the cross of your legs. The left hand beside you on the mat and the right arm opens up. And finding this just very classic shape of a seated lateral side bend. How your attention, maybe through the lenses, you might even be feeling your rootedness, your joy, your creativity. My words are guiding you. Your wisdom takes you where you need to be. Right hand to the left knee. And left fingertips helping you to twist behind you. And take your outer hips into center. Draw the rib cage in and down. Feel your right shoulder softening. as you turn through the chin. Left arm, reaching it out to the side. We can use the right hand to really press down onto the left thigh and finding this kind of reach and twist and still getting deeper and deeper into the body. Oh. Left hand finds the right knee. And you can start your circles or your forward and back motions. Might even be, you know what to do. You will know what will feel really good. You can always think daily. You can move the spine forward and back. You can take it side to side. And you can rotate it. Oh, feel free to find those eagle arms. And go side to side, forward and around. Note if you'd like to stay with that inward journey with soft eyes are closed. You can also take in things around you whilst maintaining connection to your breath. Oh, slowly, let's release the arms. We'll take a circle up and overhead. Find the breath as you inhale. Draw your hands to center. Anjali Mudra. We start our month of December. Remember, you are the light of all lights. Going back to peace, presence, focus, calmness. Okay, let's come to tabletop. I'll face you to begin with. And just allow your limbs, your hands, your knees, your feet to find the mat. And just see if we can kind of come onto the inner knees a little more. You can even stretch your shins back. Sometimes I love to press onto the flats of the feet and hover the knees for a moment or two. But it doesn't happen right away. It takes a moment to really integrate your arm bones into the shoulder sockets. You can find the bend you have in your elbows. And note if you bend in your elbows, what happens to the wrists or the fingers. And then see, do you want cat-cows? Be curious if you even move your hands around. Do you want to circle the hips? Do you want to make it one kind of diagonal reach? But if we even cross one hand over the other, make a longer arm in one shape, on one side, we'll find different ways you can turn the hands out to the side. Behind you. Even fingertips with cat-cow can be interesting. Take the left leg out to the side. Stretch it out a little. You want to start to feel the left sitting bone. And almost like you're drawing the tailbone down toward the ground. Feel the outer blade of the left foot work. Inside, inner knee, inner thigh. And then you can start to lift the left hand. So your left arm lifts up. We're in this bigger side stretch here. And then exhale, swoop it underneath your right, soft bend in right elbow, and reach it as far out to the side as you can, and pull the belly up and in. Inhale as you open, right shoulder blade on the back body. Maybe your gaze goes up. And then weave it underneath. And still feel into the hips. You can make space in the front of your right hip. One more as you open. And sweep it underneath. Now, find a neutral chest, a neutral torso, and walk back up onto the right knee. Your left leg is extended out to the side. You find Parigasana gate pose. And you can even look down. Are you nice and straight through your right side? You can always move this foot if you need. Left hand, relax it down the leg. And we go for another big side body opening here. And this is so good to really feel the inside of the right thigh, the pelvis, the breath. And come up through center with the right arm. Relax it down onto the ground. Nice steady base. And then begin to lift your left arm. Now we're in this little baby half moon. And then you make this your own. You love this side stretch. You feel how it is in Trikonasana. You can move the feet, the knee in space. You can always lift the left leg or even just work with bending the knee there in the left side to really experience your body in space, just in a very somewhat challenging shape to gravity. Some of you love to hold the foot. You have the foot bind in your practice. And this can be a lot for the hamstrings early on, so go steady. And eventually we come out. You can lift up through gate. You can bring your hands to your heart space. Find a little moment of centering balance. And come back to tabletop. Left knee comes in. We go to the other side, right leg, extending it out. And pressing down through the left hand, find your nice hand print and open your right arm up and over. So we're rotating now. Weave it underneath left arm, soft bend in left elbow, all the way out. And a few times as we open. And what you want to sort of get right into, if you can, is the base of your right foot. A little lift of the arch, the inner knee, pelvic floor, space in your left hip. And how your breath can really guide and sync your movements. And then this last one as we lift up here. We can look down and make your way up into gate. Sometimes you have to touch the hands back down and make sure you feel somewhat steady through your legs. You might feel different with this leg extended out. Are you straight enough in your left side? Right arm down the outside of your right leg and up and overhead. Feeling this nice long line here. Side body. And get in touch with the chakras here. Can you feel the curvature of your spine and still maybe visualize the colors? Or where's the head in relationship to the chest? As you come through neutral, windmill over to the other side, left hand under the shoulder, and your right arm is extending. It can be fingertips here. And sometimes we have to reposition the feet, the knees. We never want to lock out or feel we're in a position that, oh, there's something not quite right in the body. Now this side might be different. You might do something different. You can stay where you are. You might even rest your hand to your head, behind the back. Lift the foot, bend the knee. How's the relationship to the breath, to the core? Just play with some shapes. Not. Hold the foot maybe, or not. And, we have the moments of challenge, and sometimes we take things on. We have a brave moment and we fall out, and there's nothing, there's no goal, there's no achieving really. We release out, back into tabletop. And let's take a moment in child's pose, either knees hip distance or wide. Let it rest down. Oh. At any point you need to rest here, you can, always, in any class. You spread the fingers wide. You extend through your index finger. Scoop your biceps forward. As you come up to the knees, tuck your toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Feel the shape, feel your body. Enjoy as you spread out through your feet. Feeling the strong muscles of the legs, where they're supporting the bones. And how kind of moving in through the joints, whether it's in your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, relaxing the head. Kind of pedal the knees or sway the hips. And you get in touch with your 7 chakras here. Imagine Muladhara is really lifting high. Making a lovely straight line through the back body in your imagination. We'll walk the feet forwards to meet the hands. Coming into our Uttanasana. Where would your arms like to be? Elbows, back of the head, swaying on the ground. Just give a lot of freedom to your neck, to the lower jawbone. Feel the bones of the ankles, especially the heel of those 2 bones. Either side in your ankles, supporting your feet. Preparing for Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips are under the shoulders. Squeeze the feet into the mat. Take a breath. Long spine as you just let your gaze go forward. And fold it in, exhale. Uttanasana. Maybe one more halfway lift. And then folding it in. We bend the knees, let the sitting bones get a little heavy. And we roll up to stand. You arrive, maybe roll the shoulders or just feel the bones of the body stacking. Turn to face you. We'll work a little bit of a standing sequence. And we might, I said an hour, we might go maybe 10 minutes over to make sure we cool down as well nicely. So hopefully you out there live, not in any rush, and it won't be mega over the hour. So feet under your hips, have a look down, spread out the toes, begin to lift your kneecaps. Have a little look. Sometimes the knees are rolling in or rolling out. And can you see if you sort of try to set the knees up into the second, third toes, how we have to work the pelvis, squeeze the feet down, really get into the inside of your toes. Now, if you can, then close your eyes, allow your arms to relax by your side. And begin to relax the tailbone down. Imagine there's a little anchor drawing down from the tailbone. And naturally, the bones of the feet might be spreading out and squeezing down a little more. As you feel these tight hip flexors, quadriceps, slowly lengthening. Shoulders over your hips. Melting down the back, ears lifting toward the sky. Breath down. Feel your line here. When we get as deep into the core of the body as we can with our visualization, maybe you can even feel the warmth, the light. Note if you're starting to feel a little straighter, if your feet, legs are maybe relaxing a little more as you stand. And to reach the arms wide outside as you spread thumbs, fingers, slowly going up overhead. Feel the shoulders lift. Don't lose the connection to the feet, the pelvis. And then relax them beside you once more. Crown of the head reaching. Once more as we raise arms up and overhead. Spreading them out, staying nice and succinct in your mid-body. As you take a hold of your left wrist with the right hand, up and over to your right side, side body stretching, freedom through the head and the neck. Deepening your breath, really anchoring down through the left foot, long left leg. Come through center, take a breath. Find your right wrist and up and over to the other side. Several breaths. Long right leg. Relaxing through the face, the head. And through center. You're at the top of the mat, relaxing your arms by your side. You take an inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up and over. Exhale, folding into Uttanasana, hinging from your hips. Halfway lift, lengthen. As you bend the knees, step the right leg down the mat. And you can lower the right knee down here, your untented fingertips. Finding that bend into your left knee, just drawing your hips slightly back in space. You can keep the right toes tucked under. Feel into that left hamstring a little more and into the inner groin of your right leg. Keep lifting up through the pelvis, through the lower belly. Then you come forward with your left leg. Lift the back knee as you extend through your right leg and step your right foot in and out slightly, setting up for pyramid pose or Ekapada Uttanasana. You're on the fingertips here. Make a little more length through your spine. Crown to tail. And when you're ready, fold over the left leg. And you move your feet where you need to move them. Put the bones heavy into the mat. Soften the left knee if you need. Even the back knee. And try to relax the head over the shape. As we work some standing poses for the legs. Invigorating, especially now this left side. And some of you know where you like to put your hands or just resting them on the mat. Feel the fascia change. Releasing slightly, your fingertips, right fingertips under the right shoulder. Soften both knees and begin to lift your left arm into Parivrita Trikonasana. This revolved triangle. Knees can stay soft. You maybe look toward your left hand. Anchoring down through the back foot. Exhale as you release, look down. Soften both legs. Step the right foot down the mat slightly. And then left leg back, either to three-legged dog in the air, or down dog, or even child's pose. And if you've gone for the left leg in the air, this three-legged down dog variation, just to give your hip a little release. You might get there from another way. Left foot lowers to the ground. feet are hip distance. We meet in downward facing dog. You can give the little lift of the right leg. You might bend and straighten the knee a little. Feel the pelvis in space. And then we'll help the right foot forward to meet the hands. You can always use your hand, get it forward there. Back knee lowers, toes stay tucked under. And we go a little forwards and back with the hips. And blocks can be helpful here if you work with blocks at home, but you don't necessarily need the props at home. We can be light on the fingertips. Where the attention will keep your experience fresh. Forwards and back there through the legs. And next time we come forwards into the right knee, lift your left leg, round the foot, bringing it in and out slightly. And we first feel the spine, but it's a big exploration into your feet, legs. Kneecaps lifted, knees can bend slightly. Inhale is to find that long spine. And your exhale, just relaxing over this pyramid shape. Because we're taking a big opening for the back body channel, it can feel really relaxing for the nervous system. Number 2, always soften around the bones. If you feel your muscles getting to that point, you want not too hot, not too cold, somewhere right in the middle. Use your back foot, squeeze it down. Left hand is under left shoulder. You can kind of soften the legs slightly and begin to open your right arm. Ooh, this is a big twist for the legs. Big ask of the torso. Where am I in space? Parivrita Trikonasana, revolve triangle. Slowly relax your right arm down. Put a bend into your knees, find your hands to the mat. You can bring your right leg up into a 3-legged dog. It might feel like a shorter down dog, so you can bend your left knee. If you needed to come back to child's pose, classic dog, all good. Let's find both feet to the mat. Come forwards into a plank where you lower your knees to the ground, roll over the belly, and come down. You can lift into a little cobra. Make sure your hands are supporting under the shoulders. And lower a few times. And your feet can be wide, spreading through your toes. Feel the tailbone working back to the heels. This is a great way to, again, find up the fire in the belly. Feel your strong force, squeezing elbows in. Next time you're down, pause. Hands frame the ribs. And press up and back into a downward facing dog. This time we'll step the feet together. Give a little lift of the right leg. And with the feet together, it helps you open your pelvis out to the side. Relaxing the head. You just might find a little bit of extra freedom there in the side reach of your pelvis. Work your knee into your chest. Bring the right foot forward. This time we'll ground the back foot. And we can come up to warrior 2. I'm going to turn to the other side of the mat to face you. And always important, no matter what warriors you do, that you know you have the freedom to move your feet. Bending of the knees to protect your pelvis. Back toes are turning in, more opening now for the belly, inside of the thighs. And then your shoulders can just feel like they're flying above your hips. Can you breathe into your chakra line here? You feel that knee really solidly over your front ankle. And maybe even open the inner back thigh a little more, inside of the left thigh. And then we can open the side body, right arm straight up. Hopefully the heat is building. Now it's definitely building for me here. And then coming either to forearm or inside your leg. Always so nice, these Parsvottanasana, this sort of big side body opening. And what do you do here? Do you keep your back arm bound? You can extend the left arm. Sometimes just the forearm on the thigh is great. A lot for the legs. We'll give a little relax here. Bring both arms inside your legs. You can open the feet out a little wider, but it's kind of like a long, wide lizard. Or even a down dog shape for the upper body. Stretch the torso onto that inner left diagonal reach of your right leg. And then begin to pivot the right toes in. You can find a little halfway lift and lower. You know, in Prasarita Padottanasana. Bend and straightening of the legs. We'll find the shape on the other side as your left toes pivot forward, turning the back foot in. Coming up into warrior two, you can circle your right arm back. And have a look. Move the feet if you need. Feel the bending of your knees. You don't have to be static in the feet. Arms are opening. Pubic bone, navel, chest, chin. A bit more opening for the inside of the right knee as your hands lift up. Take a breath. And then exhale to reach the left fingertips straight up to the sky. You can bind with that back arm. Oh. Isn't it nice to just enjoy yoga? Not feel that we have to move fast, rapidly. In fact, you get more done when you take your time. Sometimes. Side angle. Forearm to the thigh. You might have to shift your back foot slightly. You might want to work deeper into the inside of the leg. Some people love to stretch the right arm. Whoa, wherever you're at. Remember, your attention. Maybe you find your center line. You can find a moment of shavasana in the pose. Maybe. Come to that long dragon, lizard dragon shape. Both arms inside the left leg. And just relax. Legs, if you can. It's still quite strong for left leg. Feel the lower back opening. And then turn your left toes in. We're in Prasarita. So heel the feet a little closer together, bending the knees, coming into squat. You can move in the squat. The wrist can touch or not. And then if you can, we'll take the blanket. We're going to bring the blanket on the belly. So you might have to help yourself onto your knees here. You can always sit back on the heels for a moment as we just take the energy now down to the ground, ending with some more spinal release. Nice for the hips, for the shoulders. So you can feel that spot around the navel. And I think it's different for a lot of people, depending on the shape of our bones and what's happening in the muscles or the fascia. But think center. And if you need to go up and down off it, feel free to do so. If it's too much, we'll come up. So this navel point, over the blanket. Let's stay on the forearms. Maybe you like to rock the pelvis side to side. You can open the legs a little wider. Then we'll bring the right knee beside you a little way, half frog. Start to sort of swivel your left forearm in. Maybe come into the right hand here, elbow lifted. And begin to look back over the right shoulder. What can feel nice is to also tuck the left toes under and work that hip more into the side. You have to go a little steady here. You're massaging into the belly. And then see if it feels good. You can keep left toes tucked under. Just come down and rest onto the forearms. And try to soften the pelvis, the lower belly. The head can maybe turn right, or forehead straight down. Feel free to relax the left toes if you want to soften. And this could be really intense here. Just begin to feel the ground beneath the body and soften where you can, wherever you're meeting the ground with the body. Try to allow the mind to go with it. Let's come back up to the forearms. Right leg back behind you. Might move on the blanket ever so slightly, or kind of rolling on it very softly side to side. Hopefully it's not too much of a big roll, that it's more of a little therapeutic massage into this front body fascia. Left knee comes up beside you on the mat. You can tuck the right toes under, maybe feel the thighs or the inner thighs opening. You're on that front of your right thigh. Right forearm can swivel in and come to the left hand, and we can peek over the left shoulder. You can feel that kind of twisting, rolling over the ribs. Kind of soft, yin-like stretches. When you're ready, you can relax the right toes. You can lower down onto the forearms. Ooh, go steady. And, the belly will be definitely sort of experiencing the blanket now more as we spend time. Bring your left leg in, taking the final few moments on the blanket here. If you need to come back to forearms, or you can rest the head and elbows out to the side. Give your weight fully into the blanket now with both legs straight. Take a moment there. Feel free to move the pelvis. You can be brave with the blanket, and if you'll be coming off it now any moment. Slowly, when you're ready, framing the ribs with the hands, the elbows are in. Lift up and back. Blanket out to the side. Sit over onto the sitting bones. Right leg out in front. Left knee's bending. Arms up and overhead. As you fold over your right leg, anywhere that you meet the legs, you want to feel broad in the back of the heart space. You don't have to hold the foot. We just want to give a little bit of pressure into the backs of the legs before we lay down for Shavasana. Nice. The little movements are great, or you want to be still. Oh, roll the spine up. Invite deeper, longer breaths. In and out through your nose. Feel the soothing effect in your throat. Whether you like to lift your arms or just find this outward reach, heart, ribs coming over. Other side. You can roll the foot around the knee. Let the hands relax on the ground. And in this asymmetrical pose for the legs, your pelvis has more freedom. Now, as we come all the way up, make sure if you need extra socks, warm clothing to come down onto the ground, you can just be taking care. No rush. The twist is calling to you. Feel free to have a little twist or just a little shimmy of the knees side to side. We did a lot of side bending, rotating through the class. It may not be necessary. But sometimes yogi's choice, there is something that for your needs, you need to exercise. Your time with that, and of course, whenever you're ready, you come into Shavasana. Making sure you're comfortable. And let it go. Let it go. How often we hear this, but it is so helpful. Without suppressing, denying, and into your ever-free awareness. Claim your nature here. It takes time to reorient, bringing our identity into this pure, whole, free awareness. It's natural we'll still feel the hinges of our body, mind, sense complex, all its related sorrows. But here, through yoga and abhyasa, practice and objectivity, we can refine the body, mind, sense complex to assimilate, to understand, to know. And here's this cute little analogy that Swami Paramarthananda offers about this process of actualizing oneself. When you need to make a cup of coffee, or when you make a cup of coffee and add a spoonful of sugar, you need to mix it. Otherwise, you won't taste the sugar. So if the first two processes of listening and resolving our doubts are like adding the coffee, milk, and sugar, the final stage of assimilating is stirring it all together. And only then can you enjoy the sweetness, your sweetness. Coming back, remembering, meditating, resolving your doubts. And then just knowing, observing through your experience, your attention will show you this. What am I identifying with? Always identify with who you are. Pure, perfect, beautiful, whole, complete. One without a second. So I leave you here to rest more, enjoy more your weekend, your day. My heartfelt salutations, gratitude to all of you here live. Beautiful Harriet, beautiful Tori, beautiful Annabelle, beautiful Lisa, Catherine, Gemma, and then hopefully Hannah, Nikki, everyone who's going to watch the recording, any of you watching this somewhere future in cyberspace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Krishna Govinda Narayana. Until we meet again, be well.